Hello viewers, you're welcome to yet another edition of this program Mobilizing for Development, and I'll be talking about working with Sulhu Committee. I have my guest in the studio with me to discuss this, and by my right I'll be introducing Barrister Mohammed Tahir, one of the facilitators in the training of the Sulhu Committee members, Jigawa State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And to my extreme left is Malang Aminu Baba Waziri, Commander General Hisba Jigawa State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And to my left here is Barrister Barau Basiru, Officer in Charge Legal Hisba Command Jigawa State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And right to the question, what are Sulhu Committees and who are the members? That would be Malang Aminu Baba.
When we say Sulhu Committee, it's just like it's not a new concept in northern Nigeria, more especially in more northern states. It is a concept that entails a situation whereby you will use a kind of alternative dispute resolution committees. When we say Sulhu is an Arabic word which means to engage two conflicting parties, or something like that, to come and find a solution for them, to assist them in getting a solution to their own problem, be it personal problem or community problem or something like that. So when we say Sulhu Committee in Jigawa State, it's just like any what we call reconciliation committees. But as far as Jigawa is concerned, this is a grassroots communal alternative dispute resolution committees that were inaugurated by the Hisba Command in Jigawa State. And I think the second question is what?
Who are the members?
The members of the Sulhu Committee, after discussing, or let me say after your consultation and meetings with religious leaders in Jigawa State, we agreed that we are going to have 9 members in each and every committee. And the committees are going to be at the grassroots, not at the local government level, or at a district level, or at state level, but rather the committees are there at the grassroots level. When I say grassroots level, I mean at the level of either district head or even ward head.
Okay.
The committees, they are 9 in number, as I said. Number 1, we have the Digachi, or let me say ward head, or community or district head. No, not district head, as a ward head. He is the chairman of the committee. And his deputy is the chief imam of that committee, that immediate community where the chief is there. Then we announce that we agree to have that the chief imam of that community is going to be the deputy, while the Hisba guard member of that community, if there is, because there are still certain communities that we don't have Hisba guard members there. So the Hisba guard is going to be the secretary of the committee. These are the leadership, while representative of vigilante group is member, representative of the business community is a member, representative of Women Islamia School is a member, kind of respected Al-Ramma. When we say Al-Ramma, we mean those perfect Quranic scholars. They memorize the Holy Quran. So in each village, normally in the house society, when you go, you can see the chief imam is different from the Al-Ramma of that town. And the Al-Ramma of that town, sometimes he commands respect much more than even the imam of the community.
That's serious.
Yes, so he is part of the what do you call it, the committee. And at the same time, there is a representative from women group. Normally we say Women Islamia teacher.
Okay.
So these are the 9 people that are part, and they constitute the committee, the Sulhu Committee in Jigawa State.
So it's not strictly men.
It's
Women
not strictly for men, yes.
All right, Barrister Barau, what are the primary mandates of the Sulhu Committee?
Okay, before that, I want to add something about what the Commander General has said.
All right.
Is with regard to the number of the committees within the piloted area selected in Jigawa State. There are about 94 committees, if I am right, within the piloted area. These committees were created within 3 local governments, that is Malamadori, Miga, and Ringim. In Malamadori, there are about 31 committees. So Ringim, there are about 43 committees, or 40, yes, 40. And Miga local government, there are about 23. So if you sum up the numbers, will give you the number of 94 committees, or these are the committees that are acting within the piloted area.
Okay.
And the primary mandate of these committees is to facilitate or to partake in facilitating negotiation, mediation, reconciliation over some disputes that may emanate or that may arise from that particular communities. The committees are to ensure that the social justice has been attained through that mediation. So these are the primary mandates settled with the committees.
All right, thank you very much. Barrister Mohammed Tahir, can you add something to what he has just said now?
About the
Mandate
mandates
of,
of
yes.
No, I think the barrister has captured the
Okay,
mandate
all right then.
messages.
I'll move right along to Malang Aminu Baba Waziri. How does this committee operate? How do they operate?
Okay, when we are talking about the framework in which the committee is operating, the committee is operating on certain levels. Number one is that the committee is operating under the leadership, just like what I said, under the leadership of the district head of a given town. In whichever village that we are directing the committee is automatically working under the, what they call it, the head or the chairmanship of that village head. But when it comes to the matter of the framework of the operation of Sulhu Committees, that's where we are talking about two issues. Number one, the Sulhu Committees are saddled with the responsibility of trying to reconcile not only disputes that are family in nature, but rather to come into any problem, whatever issue that is deemed by the community as a problem, and that Sulhu Committee, they have the right, they have the mandate to go into that problem in order to provide a solution to such a problem.
And take charge.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't wait for a complainant to come and complain for a problem. Because as far as Islam is concerned, sometimes when you are saddled with the responsibility, especially of leadership, you are not expected to stay maybe in your palace or maybe in your office waiting for people to come and complain. But rather, sometimes you have to go in search of that problem. Because when you wait for the problem to come to you, sometimes before it comes, it may get worse or even worse than it is expected.
So that's to say, if there's a problem on ground, Sulhu should find about it, they go and
of course, sometimes the problem must not be reported at all times. Okay. Sometimes, for example, it is narrated in hadith in many traditions that sometimes even the Prophet himself, he used to go during midnight or something, odd hours, going around in the vicinity of Medina for him to know whether there is a problem, maybe people are hungry or something like that. So that's the major framework that our Sulhu Committee is taking on. And that's the framework we are operating on. We don't wait for the problem. Sometimes we go in search of the problem. If we see that there is a problem, then we come in order to provide a solution to such a problem. Yes.
All right, then. Do the Sulhu Committee function in isolation, Barrister?
No, they don't function in isolation. Okay. You know, there are already established dispute resolution mechanisms around before the inauguration of Sulhu Committees. We have institutions like the courts and the police and the Civil Committee, Jigawa State Community Law Centers operated by the Justice Center Law Commission. So the work of this committee is supposed to be complementary to that of the already existing structures. And by their mandate, the Hisbah Command has already mandated them to refer certain cases to already existing authorities, like the police, like the courts, and of course the High King, which is the district head. That is when they come acquires of disputes that are beyond their scope. Yes. And then to add to what the commander said, if you look at the membership that the commander listed of the Sulhu Committee members, you see that there has been a deliberate pattern of involving people of caliber in the community. These are people that already are involved in everyday life, so they're in a position to find out where there are certain disputes, so that the committee.
And how does this relate with government and structure? How does
when I said by the system of referral, because during their training they were trained on certain areas of conflict that are beyond their own management. Okay. There are certain areas that they are not outside the scope. So what they do when there are such cases, they have places like the police and the courts to refer them, and the courts will accept their referrals and look into the disputes.
Thank you very much, sir. Madam Aminu Baba, the question here is: do the Sulhu Committee? Is there an external development partner that works with the Sulhu Committee in charge?
Of course, there is. I can vividly say that without even the intervention of the external, or let me say, development partners, I think we will not achieve what we've achieved now. Because you know, with the present situation in Nigeria, with the limited resources the state governments are having, so you can't expect the state government to be everywhere at one time.
Or even reach the grassroots.
Of course, but more talk less of reaching the grassroots.
Oh, yes,
so during the first time, we are able to call the religious leaders and the traditional leaders together with some respected members in our society to sit down and come up with what are the issues, what are the problems bedevailing our society. So part of what we resolve together with those religious leaders is that we should come up with this committee. So when the idea comes, we sit down together with the people of Mobilizing for Development, that is the leadership of Mobilizing for Development there in Jigawa State. We sit down together with them to come up with a framework, with a kind of working plan in which we will know how to, number one, enact the committees, number two, train the members of the committee, number three, to map out the areas in which the committee should work, and number four, to discuss on the major issues that the committee is going to tackle, and number five, to discuss on what is above the work of the Sulhu Committees. So all this work, we are doing it together with Mobilizing for Development. The Mobilizing for Development, they normally gives us what is called the technical support. And not only the technical support, even the material support. Because in every meeting that we are conducting, be it in Kano or Abuja or elsewhere, the Mobilizing for Development, they sponsor that meeting. And not only that, even at the grassroots, whenever we are taking any meeting at the grassroots level or something like that, that's how Mobilizing for Development is coming in order to help us to discuss and to come up with whatever we are coming in. So that's why we are saying without the assistance and the collaboration between our organization, I mean Hisba Command Jigawa State, and the Mobilizing for Development, I'm very much sure what we've achieved will never been achieved without the intervention.
So you people don't have gotten to the extent you've gotten to right now?
Of course, we'll have not.
All right, thank you very much. Barrister Barrow, is there an external development partner that works with the Sulhu Committee in Jigawa State? What is their role? Is there?
Yes, their role, as the Commander in General stated, the external development partner with their auspices and with their financial support, there are a lot of achievements pertaining to this developmental program, especially pertaining to issue of Sulhu. You understand? For instance, with regards to the child girls' education, the Sulhu Committee partake on issues or disputes that are related to that area. So before the coming of M4D, there were some developmental societies within the area of pilot area. They created a policy that there is a second chance education. So they have created some lessons for the girls, those who are not attending schools. So when the M4D came on board, in collaboration with the Sulhu Committees, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Whenever there is a dispute or there is a lady, a girl who is always hawking on the street, so the Sulhu Committee will talk to her parents. They will sit in order to negotiate, to have solution to that issue. Then the girl will be sent to that particular school. So the M4D, as a external development partner, provided uniforms to the student like that.
All right.
So this is one of their role.
All right, Barrister, I'll still direct this question to you. Sulhu across state is largely used by women. And in Jigawa, Sulhu Committee were set up to ensure that the adolescent girls and PWDs, that's people with disabilities, have access to their rights. What has been the result so far in all of this?
Okay, you know, on the ground, there is a recording system over with the Sulhu Committees. Also, committees, they have the register in which they are to record all the cases they have entertained. Therefore, going by such records, series of success has been achieved. Because going by what we have seen from the register, like in Malamadori local government, about 43 members, girls' child, benefited from that program, like Ringing about 20, like in Mega about 43. So about above 100 girls' child have benefited from the Sulhu Committees. Also, what had happened was the committee sat with their parents. They have discussed, they told them the role of and the importance of education, and their parents agreed. So the girls were enrolled in different schools, some in primary schools, some in junior secondary school, those they are now continuing their education. With regard to the person with disabilities, I just want to use the Debi district area. In that area, within a period of 1.5 months, they have succeeded in enrolling persons with about 13 persons with disabilities in primary schools. They are not attending schools, but the committee look on them. Therefore, they sat with their parents. They have discussed. Therefore, their parents agreed to release them to go to school. So therefore, there are a lot of achievements. There are a lot of success done or achieved by the Sulhu Committee in Jigawa State.
Barrister, do you have something to add to what he has just said?
Yes, in addition to what the OC Legal said, the data also shows that full-grown women have also been helped by the intervention of these committees in the issues relating to marriage and inheritance, a whole variety of issues involving full women. They have been helped by the work of these committees, and the data is very encouraging.
Madam, Aminu Baba Waziri, in what ways is the Sulhu work being used to address a major conflict seen today that is between cattle herders and farmers?
It's just like what I've said earlier, that the framework in which we are working is much more wider, and we have gone much more wider than the conventional, or let me say the traditional Sulhu system in northern Nigeria. Under the traditional Sulhu system, you can see that the Sulhu is mainly between husband and wife, or between in-laws and husband, between in-laws and wife, or something like that, meaning it's a marital cases. But as far as Jigawa's Sulhu Committee is concerned, we've gone far beyond that. And that's why you can see that looking at the membership of that committee, you can see that in each and every village, in each character of people, or let me say in each type of people in the society, we are able to pick the best among them, and we incorporated him inside that committee. So that is why you can see that the committee earns a lot of respect. If you are respecting money, then the person that has more money in that village is part of that committee. If you are respecting religion, the chief imam, the alaramma, means the Quranic learner, is part of the committee. If you are talking about you are youth, then the youth leader is part of the committee. So whoever you are, as far as you are living in that committee, then we have somebody. We have somebody that can talk to you, and you must listen to him. So that's why even when it comes to the issue of farmers' hardest conflict, we find it very easy to be resolved. We find it very easy to be confronted.
They look up
of
to,
course,
which is among
because most of those farmers, I can say 100% of them, they have respect for constituted authority. They have respect for their religion. So when you, for example, even if you have problem with the constituted authority, maybe the district head or something like that, but I'm very much sure you must not have any issue with the imam. You must have not any issue with an alarma or something like that. So that's why, whichever problem is coming, you can see that by the grace of God and with the assistance of God, we are very much sure that such cases, they are now becoming something that can be cited as an history. But now in Jigawa State, as far as this development is concerned, the issue are going to be, seems to be very, very easy to be confronted, and the people are really arriving and agreeing with whatever the Sulhu Committee provided as a solution to any problem.
Barrister Barrow, what has been done so that Sulhu work will be scaled up in Jigawa State?
I think it's my view that for the Sulhu activities to be everywhere in Jigawa State or to scale up within the Jigawa State in general, there is need of government's intervention, because at the initial stage, the Sulhu issue is within the Hisba. Even though Hisba, it is a body created by law of the state, there is issue of Sulhu in justice sector and law reform commission. But going by the nature of these Sulhu committees created in this piloted area, so it shows that there is need of government intervention and other developmental groups for the Sulhu committees to be available within the state. So this is my view. Therefore, I think that we will have to solicit the intervention of government and other developmental organizations.
All right, thank you very much. Barrister Tahir, what can be done to ensure that Sulhu in other states is used by those adolescent girls and PWDs, that's people with disability?
Well, I think a lot has already been done by simply, like the commander said, by the composition of the committee. That alone will give people the confidence to approach the committees. But when you come to young adolescent girls, they have very peculiar situations. So maybe what would be done already, there are women in the committee. So the presence of the women will encourage the adolescent girls to at least make use of the service of the committee. So maybe what could be done, maybe they could incorporate more women.
Okay.
So because being them there and the nature of the disputes concerning this adolescent girls, at least some of the disputes, that will give them the confidence to approach the committees.
All right, thank you very much. Time is of the essence. We would have loved to keep talking about this so that you would get more enlightened, but we would have to wrap it up. And I've been here with my good guest who has enlightened us on Sulhu, working with Sulhu Committee. And it's been a great pleasure having one of the facilitators in the training of the Sulhu Committee member, Barrister Tahir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. It was my
and
pleasure.
Also the Commander in General, Hisba Jigawa State. You're welcome, sir. And also the Officer in Charge Legal, Hisba Karman, Jigawa State.
Thank you.
All right, then, for further information, the number to send your SMS only is 08065204855. I'll take that again, 08065204855. SMS only. For further inquiries, visit our website www.mobilizingfordevelopment.com. On behalf of the entire crew, I'll say thank you, and to my viewers, thank you for staying with us. See you next time. I'm your uncle, Miri Usman.